Hello, my name is Patrick Verheily. I have the privilege of serving as the director of the Missionary Disciples Institute here at Marian University, and I am delighted to share with you a scripture reflection for this Sunday's readings. It's the 19th Sunday in Ordinary Time, and it is packed with rich images and moments of encountering God. In the first reading, we hear about Elijah finding God in the tiny whispering sound amidst the chaos surrounding him. The psalmist in the responsorial psalm begs for the Lord to show his kindness and mercy and to give us salvation. And in our second reading, St. Paul points out that God, who is overall aimed to use Israel in outreach to the entire world through the Messiah. And finally, in our gospel reading, Jesus walks on the water, and he invites Peter out of the boat to take courage and to walk on the water as well. And he asks for Jesus to save him when he starts to drown. In each of these passages, there is an uncertainty about how God will act, save, and show up. Having grown up in Catholic education and hearing these stories over and over and over again, we know that God will save, we know that God will act, and that God will show up. We just don't always know how. We don't know when. We don't know the way in which God will show up. But what we are called to do is have faith, to wait, and to trust. I think this could be a great motto for us during these times in our world right now. God will act, God will save, God will show up. The interesting thing is that we just don't know when, how, or in what way. To be honest, I feel a lot like Peter right now in some ways in my own life, that I'm being called out of the boat, out of my home for the first time in 150 some days. Into a more or less chaotic world with all sorts of uncertainty. I am a husband, I am a father, my wife is a Catholic school teacher, they're going back to school this week, my kids are going into school. I've got 5 little kids, 3 that are in daycare, 2 that are at the grade school that my wife teaches at. And I feel like Peter because we're taking a step in a direction that feels uncomfortable, that we're uncertain. We know that there is uncertainty, but life has always been uncertain. It's been ramped up because of COVID, absolutely. I don't mean to downplay that because it's very serious. But never once in Scripture do we hear God tell us to worry, to stress, to think about the pain or focus on the sickness or the illness or the death. Instead, like Peter in today's gospel, God calls us to faith, to a greater faith, to act with faith, to wait for him, to trust, not to focus on the uncertainty, the unknown, the danger, like Peter did. But that's our inclination, right? But rather to take courage. Where in our lives do we need to take courage? To maybe wait, trust, and have a little more faith. Maybe that's a good thing to ponder this week. Maybe even pinpoint a particular area in your life where you need to ask God to increase your faith and to trust in him. God bless you. Have a wonderful week.